Should you buy the Scramjet in Grand Theft Auto Online? Is it going to be getting our buyer beware sticker? That's what we're going to be talking about in this video today. So Rockstar released a brand new weaponized supercar into Grand Theft Auto Online, and that's sort of the magical combination right there. Supercar, weaponized, rocket boosted. How is this thing going to perform? Is it worth it? Let's talk about all of that in this video today. So let's talk about price, which we have in the past, but it's a doozy. It's really expensive. The buy it now price is $4,628,000. Although there is no excuse not to save over $1 million on this vehicle by playing the Hunting Pack Remix adversary mode. That's the new adversary mode that Rockstar added. You just have to win one match, not a round, but a full match of this game mode. And it's pretty easy to do. It's not like the hardest adversary mode in the world. And doing that literally gets you over $1 million discount. Now, I think this is a little bit gimmicky, and I really don't like how Rockstar put this massive paywall on this vehicle. I mean, when it's all said and done, when you get done upgrading this thing, if you buy it at the buy it now price, it's going to cost you $5 million. That is a ton of money for one vehicle. So immediately right off the bat, this thing is just way too expensive for my liking. But for the sake of this video, we're going to test it out and we're going to buy it. Now, another thing I don't love about this vehicle and another paywall you're going to encounter, you have to do all of the upgrades inside of the Mobile Operations Center or the Avenger. So let's say you don't own an MOC or an Avenger, but you want a Scramjet. Well, you're going to have to add that to the price as well. Now, I understand that a lot of you guys already do have an Avenger or a Mobile Operations Center, but if you don't, it's just going to add to the price to this vehicle. And once again, it's not customized in the terabyte. Has to be in the old MOC and the old Avenger. So again, another thing to really keep in mind here, which is a little bit unfortunate, and that's the next thing I want to talk about, customization. There's absolutely none. Really, the only thing you can do to this vehicle to make it unique is change the primary color, add a livery, which, by the way, the liveries are pretty cool. You get some GTA lore liveries in there, like Princess Robot Bubblegum, Republican Space Ranger, stuff like that. You also have some pop culture references to the Speed Racer Mach 5. So it's really cool. I like all the liveries, but you can change the color, change the paint job, and change the wheels. That is it. It comes with bulletproof tires by default. There's no way to change the glass, and it's completely a convertible. Now, once you get it outside, this vehicle mainly has two features. Number one is a jumping ability, which for me is to click in on the left stick. I'm not sure what that would be for you on PC. And to boost, it is right bumper. So I don't know what you guys have that set up, but that's mine. And then to fire the weapons, which can be used simultaneously, missiles and machine guns, for me is left bumper. So let's talk about this vehicle for a bit. Let's talk about its jumping ability. There's only one other vehicle in the game that can jump from standstill, and that's the Ruiner 2000. And this vehicle can jump higher and farther than the Ruiner 2000. So it gets a check mark there, which is great. How does it compare to some of the other boosted vehicles in the game? Well, the Vigilante actually recharges faster, but the Scramjet has a higher boost duration. And as we mentioned earlier, it can also jump. So I would say it's better than weaponized vehicles and boosted vehicles like the Ruiner 2000 and the Rocket Voltic, but it's not going to be better than the Vigilante, the Deluxo, and the Oppressor. And we're going to talk about why up next. So the reason for that is its damage that it can do and also how weak it is. So this thing is limited to 30 missiles. So just like the Strike Force that Rockstar added, it only has 30 missiles, which you can go through quite quickly before you would have to return it to a garage or an MOC in order to get new ones. So that's a hit right there. Number two, this vehicle is not armored or weaponized in any way, shape, or form. So one RPG, one rocket, one grenade will destroy this. Now, the same can be said about something like the Vigilante, but the Vigilante also protects you a whole lot more. It also has better stopping power and ramming capacity. So here's the bottom line for this vehicle. This vehicle is better, in my opinion, than rocket-powered vehicles like the Rocket Voltic. It's better than a vehicle that can jump like the Ruiner 2000, but it's not better than vehicles where their primary function is to be weaponized. For me, this is sort of a secondary function of the Scramjet. Its primary function is just to be so much fun. And that's, at the end of the day, what this vehicle excels at. I think it goes down as the most fun vehicle to own in Grand Theft Auto Online. The fact that you can jump and then boost at the same time and twirl through the air. The fact that it's a completely topless vehicle, which is obviously awesome. Now, one thing to note about the vehicle itself when you're using the boost, it almost naturally want to come back down to the ground. Some other vehicles will be a little bit lighter, tend to fly a little bit easier. This one wants to come back down to the ground, like it has super gravity on. So that is something you'll just have to play around with. But even just recording for this video, I had so much fun just using the jump and then using the thruster on the back and twirling through the air. When I eventually got cops on me, using the lock-on missiles, which are actually pretty good and do a good job of locking on to other NPCs, at least what I had noticed in this video. So here's your bottom line. Is the Scramjet going to compete against the likes of the Vigilante, the Deluxo, and the Oppressor? The answer is no. They are superior weaponized vehicles. However, is it going to compete against other vehicles like the Ruiner 2000 and the Rocket Voltic? Absolutely. I think it's better than those vehicles, and it's way more fun than all that I've just mentioned. So at the end of the day, that's what I think you're getting out of the Scramjet. I think you're getting a vehicle that is one of the most fun to own in the game. However, it does come at a price. Even with the trade price, this thing is probably going to be around $4 million when it's all said and done. And if you don't have the trade price, you're looking at about $5 million when it's all said and done. So at the end of the day, I think this is a vehicle that you should only buy if you're sort of well off enough where spending $4 to $5 million on a vehicle isn't going to set you back. Now, luckily for us, we've had a lot of free money opportunities and ways to make bonus cash over the last couple of weeks. So maybe you are in a position where you really want a fun vehicle like the Scramjet. And if so, this vehicle is perfect for you. You're going to have a blast. You can have endless fun. It really does make for some cool customization looks for car shows and whatnot due to all the unique liveries and pop culture references. But at the end of the day, unless you have enough money, this vehicle is one I wouldn't spend your cash on. Because why would you want to sink $5 million into a vehicle that's really only going to be used just for fun? There's so many other things you could spend that $5 million on, whether it's future vehicles, nightclub upgrades. I mean, I could go on and on and on about the things you could do with $5 million in Grand Theft Auto Online, and I don't think spending it on the Scramjet is worth it unless you're like the Great Gatsby or you're Scrooge McDuck or someone like that and you just have endless funds. So it is going to get the buyer beware sticker for those reasons, because it is so expensive and it doesn't necessarily compete with what it is at the end of the day, which is a weaponized supercar and the other weaponized vehicles in the game. But anyways, that right there is my review of the Class A Scramjet. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Do you think the Scramjet is worth it? Do you think that this is a vehicle you should buy, or do you think it's exactly what I said? It's just a really fun vehicle that's ultra expensive. Let me know your thoughts, opinions, and more in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.